Welcome to another episode of Smash Writing. I am your host today, Paul. Justin's not here. So literally last night, this is, probably already old news, but there's so much to talk about, so much to break down that it's not funny. So I don't even have notes. Like, I'm looking off a screen when I'm trying to read all this off to you to make it as short as possible for you instead of having all the guessing games. Last night was Disney's Investors Day. Basically, it was basically like their Comic-Con of sorts, but with a little bit more numbers to it. We didn't have a D23, we didn't have a Comic-Con and everything like that. So, everybody was pretty much sitting in limbo. You had DC do their little virtual stuff and everything like that, Warner Brothers. The news regarding how 2021 is going to play out for at least a little bit. But this one was where everybody was kind of waiting for. Mostly because Disney owns pretty much like 30 to 40% of content out there, the studios. I mean, they probably own a studio that you don't think they own, but they do. So obviously, here we go. And we're actually going to talk about the one negative that has happened that I didn't catch at first. I mean, they were kind of like low key about it, which I guess for starters, I guess I can understand. And that issue is the Disney bundle and Disney prices will go up. Not dramatically, but still kind of like a kick in the groin per se. So starting in March, they did say that Disney Plus will now be $7.99 instead of $6.99. And the Disney bundle will obviously go up $1 too. So instead of $12.99, it's going to be up to $13.99. The good news is that, as they still advertised, if you get all three, it's still significantly cheaper by like $9 to $10 a month for signing up for the bundle. So they're trying to give you like the lighthearted thing about it, but nonetheless, starting in March, the bundle actually beginning, as I'm understanding, March 26, 2021, that the Disney bundle will go up. Same way with the bundle, the plus, and everything like that. This is mostly, they're putting out there as mostly because they're starting another branch of Disney Plus. It's called Star. It's going to be hitting the international market rather than here in the United States, or if you're not here in the United States, you'll get it too. A little bit details are a little bit slim on that, so to the point where I'm not going to really waste my time talking about that because there's really not much to say except it's a different branch, just like how I have National Geographics and stuff like that. So they did put out that here are some of the numbers that as a whole, the Disney bundle now has 137 global subscriptions. And what that means is they think the numbers was better than what they were expecting. I think they were expecting a lower 100 million range, but and they talk about the breakdowns. I mean, you got 11.5 million for ESPN Plus alone, 38.8 million for Hulu, and of course 86.8 for Disney Plus. So as a whole, the bundle is actually doing pretty good. Now they're hoping, which I probably not out of the realms of hoping, they're hoping to hit between 300 and 350 million in the 2024. So in about 4 years, they're hoping to get double that. I don't really see. I mean, that's tough because there are more and more streaming services coming out each and every day. I mean, you got AMC Plus now, you got a Discovery Plus coming, and then the big one is probably going to be Paramount Plus. because I mean they're not as big as Disney, but they're going to have great content. I'm looking forward to seeing it. So let's start with Disney's Plus television. Some of the things that we kind of got for Disney Plus is they're looking at developing some properties and rebooting some and vice versa. One of them will now be Beauty and the Beast, which is the working title. Supposedly, this is labeled as a prequel. I don't know. I don't know if there's really much of a story there per se to do a Beauty and the Beast. I mean, I'm sure there are, but I just don't see the interesting things. The Swiss Family Robinson, which is a reimaging of the classic from Ron Moore and John M. Chow. The studio is also developing a Percy Jackson and Olympians, based obviously, of course, off the bestseller, the book series. We got a couple of those movies. Didn't quite pan out. Now, there are also more shows in the works. One of them has caught my attention because it's a series that I grew up watching. I reviewed a couple of them a couple months ago. The Mighty Ducks, the Game Changer, which basically says it's going to pick up the events from the third film and go forward. Obviously, when you're talking about a 30-year gap, you're going to wonder what they mean by picking up after the third film. What does that quite mean? They also have a show called Big Shots and the Mysterious Benedict Society and Turner and Hooch. Turner and Hooch is another, a cop buddy show. I'm sure it's going to be for good laughs, just like the movie was. I don't know if the cop show thing is played out. You guys be the judge of that when that time comes. So now let's move down to the next one. And the National Geographic content will come up with more shows, including Limitless with Chris Hemsworth. Welcome to Earth, which is the current working title, which will feature Will Smith, and the series Genius will be profiling Martin Luther King Jr., so that'll be something to look forward to. The studio also announced more documentaries, including Secrets of the Wills, a real Bug's Life, in America the Beautiful. I'm kind of curious because the real Bug's Life, I'm stunned by that. I can't wait to see that. Now, content for Hulu and Star that's coming in the near future too. The Kardashian Jenners will create a new global content under a multi-year deal. Why do we give them that money? Why do we give them that time? I mean, I know their show was a hit on E, but like, come on. The Kardashians, the least talented people that are famous. But I guess if Disney saw money in there, they're going to do it. Also, you got next year with the premium series, only Murders in the Building, The Dropout, and Dope Sick. Okay. And the slate of FX originals will include The Old Man, American Horror Stories, Platform, Y the Last Man. This is all going to be on Hulu. Content for Hulu and Star. So I guess this is Star and Hulu laces. The Star thing sounds like it's just another streaming service that Disney probably just wants to get their hands on. There's also going to be an Aliens TV series. I talked with Justin about this last night. He was happy with it until literally he found out it was going to take place on Earth. He believes it should take place on another planet or a spaceship. Maybe so. But we shall see. I guess you got to give it a try. I don't know. All right, let's get into the Star Wars side of things. And this is for some of you crazy Star Wars fans. I'm a crazy Star Wars fan. Everything like that. You do finally have projects that are official and greenlit, whether it's going to happen this year or not. That's to be determined. So, you got the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, which will also include Darth Vader. And the president of Lucasfilm has put out there that you will see a rematch of Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now, I have to go back and look at Star Wars New Hope when Darth Vader and Obi-Wan fight for what now will obviously officially be for the last time. I believe they did leave that door open where there could have been numerous confrontations between these two, but there might have been a longer gap in between. I believe Darth Vader says the last time we met, I was the apprentice, and now I'm the master, and Obi-Wan goes, you're a master of evil, or something like that. Don't quote me, even though I love the films. So, I mean, there is room. Some people says they're going to mess up, the films, what the films did. As long as they pay close attention and they walk that fine line, they should be okay. But nevertheless, I think people are excited. I still think people will always want a Darth Vader. I mean, the comic books are a big hit. Now that you got Hayden Christensen back on board, and he will be Darth Vader. Obviously, you won't say Anakin because, I mean, unless they do flashbacks, which many people thought they would, but no, he's going to be up under the suit, supposedly. You also have Ahsoka. Ahsoka. Why do I always pronounce him? Her show, obviously, everybody loved her on The Mandalorian, so why not make her own show? We knew that was coming. That was no secret. She's probably hands down one of the better characters, one of the more popular characters in the Star Wars. So you knew that was coming. There's also another show called Rangers of the New Republic. Sounds like kind of a Mandalorian ripoff, or a cheaper version of that. Supposedly, they're trying to make the Mandalorians the new Jedis, and I guess these Rangers will be like that of the Mandalorians. To be determined. I'm not quite sold just yet of what's going on. But there's also new shows which will also be animation too, in live action. You got Endor. You got Star Wars The Bad Batch, Star Wars Visions, Lando, a droid story, and Willow and the Acolyte. They want to do 10 Star Wars shows. I mean, this sounds excessive. It does. I'm not quite sold if we really need that many. But I guess we're getting them, so we don't really have a choice. Hopefully they're all good. We know there is also a third season of Mandalorian. That's confirmed too, which should be obviously airing the same time in 2021 as it always has. Now, the next film in the Star Wars franchise, remember when we knew there was a date slotted for a new Star Wars film. We just didn't know what it was. Would it be like Episode 10? Would it be The New Republics? But they found its director. Interesting enough, it's Warner Brothers DC director, Patty Jenkins, which is riding the hot wave of the Wonder Woman series. She will be doing a movie called Rogue Quadrant. And then there will also be, and now this is because Lucasfilm does Indiana Jones, there will be, what is it, like the fifth or sixth film of Indiana Jones. There will be another Star Wars film that's unannounced. And then there was also called Children of Blood and Bone, based on the novel of the same name. I mean, at least it's not a reboot or a remake or a pointless sequel, which we're about to get to, because now we're talking about some of the Walt Disney Studios motion pictures production. There will be a Hocus Pocus 2. We've been hearing about this for the last year and a half. We knew it was coming. You didn't want it. I didn't feel like there was a need for it. I gained a significant cult following, and that's an understatement. But sometimes your sequels are not where they should be. You're going to have a high. There's also going to be 3 Men and a Baby with starring Zac Efron. Cheaper by the Dozen. And a new Sister Act film starring Whoopi Goldberg, who is on board as a producer with Tyler Perry. Once again, Sister Act is a classic film series that was good of its time. I don't think you need it. Disney Plus projects revealed include a hybrid hybrid live action animated film, Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers. I'm kind of curious about this one because I love Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers. So I'm kind of seeing about that. You're also going to have a Pinocchio film, a Peter Pan and Wendy film. I don't know how many more we need. That. Disenchanted. Greek Freak. You got movie titles of Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The Ice Age Adventures of Buck Wild, starring Simon Pegg, and Night at the Museum. I believe these are the Night at the Museum is not part 4, so this might be a reboot already. The studio also previewed its slate of feature films, which included Jungle Cruise, Cruella, a prequel to The Lion King, and The Little Mermaid. The Walt Disney Animation Studios, in the next 4 years, you're going to have Baymax, Zootopia, Moana, the series, and more like that. So, they're trying to capitalize on their hits right now. Part of the Pixar animation series, you'll have a series called Win or Lose, Turning Red and Lightyear, which is an origin story of the hero that inspired the toy. Okay, I mean, I guess that's kind of making sense. There's a toy after somebody, so maybe there should be a story. I'm not quite sold on that. Now, let's get to Marvel Studios before we wrap up. And I think a lot of people was waiting for Star Wars and Marvel to release what they're doing. For shows, we did, the premiere date for WandaVision will be in January. The premiere for The Falcon and the Winter Soldier will be in March. I believe Loki was also in March. The trailers are online, so please check them out. They look awesome. We knew those 3. But we're also getting the series Secret Invasion, Ironheart, and Armor Wars, which basically War Machine now has to face people that taken Tony Stark's armor. Ironheart's basically like the next generation of a genius building a machine to do good. We'll star a woman, so change of heart. You got Hawkeye official. You got She-Hulk. That will star Mark Ruffalo and Tim Roth, which he will be the Abomination, so kind of like the forgotten film of the MCU because it was still Marvel and Universal film rather than just straight Marvel. So you got Moon Knight is official, so basically Marvel's getting their Batman version up. You got a holiday special of Guardians of the Galaxy and the animated feature shorts I Am Groot, starring, of course, everybody's favorite baby tree. We are getting an Ant-Man 3. We knew it was coming eventually. It's called Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. You got the Black Widow. You got Doctor Strange into the Multiverse of Madness. Thor, Love and Thunder. Black Panther 2, which they're not going to recast. They made that official. They're not going to recast anybody for the Black Panther. They're going to move on to other stories. They're going to keep their respect and legacy of Chadwick Boseman. So that is, a very honorable thing. But I got to be honest with you guys. If they ever reboot these films, they're going to find a new one anyway. But for now, they're honoring him. Great. Cannot wait to see what this will include. Basically, the rest of the stuff, really, like, when it comes to Marvel films, like, you knew these names. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Eternals, Doctor Strange. We already knew all of this, so it's not really pointless to keep talking about them. So they really didn't cover much about Spider-Man, which has been really big. That's kind of like Sony's thing of what they're doing, and they're just going about their business. They also announced the ESPN milestone with a new 10-year agreement with the SEC, expanding its partnership. The beginning with the 2024 season, Joe also brings select football games, SEC football games, to ESPN Plus. Nothing new. I mean, pretty much that's it. I think the biggest takeaway is probably the Star Wars stuff. And here's why. That was pretty much the ones that are up in the air for me. You knew, because talks were out there of She-Hulk and stuff like that, and Disney would be stupid not to produce this stuff. There is a rumor that, once again, these are rumors, and we have to be advised, but a lot of this stuff is not confirmed regarding the Daredevil characters and stuff like that. Rumor is Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil, is going to be in She-Hulk. Once again, they didn't confirm any of that. They dropped so-called hints. Same thing goes with Spider-Man. They might be making their own Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse. Just like we had the animated film. Nothing of that is confirmed. The Daredevil characters. They did not mention anything about the characters of Luke Cage, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and Iron Fist. Those are probably the bigger names that people want to know about, but I am looking forward to Moon Knight as the brand. All these Star Wars shows, to me, they're going to be hit and miss. The Rangers of the New Republicans just kind of sounds like a ripoff. I think they're just trying to capitalize on the fame of The Mandalorian, but I hope that doesn't ruin the quality. The Obi-Wan series is an interesting one. I was not a fan of it, but as I read the comments, the movies made it seem like he was a straight hermit crab on Tatooine. Not so much now. I mean, he did another battle with Darth Maul and everything like that. So it's a hit and miss for me. The Darth Vader aspect of it is the awesome part, but I'm not going to get my hopes up because something tells me that even though you can't have one without the other because the roles they had in each other's life, he's not going to be the focus point. He'll probably be like a one episode a season type of appearance and everything like that. What was your favorite stuff of the Disney Investors Days? Are you happy with this latest stuff that are coming out? Does it make you look forward to? How do you feel about the increase in price, this Star Edition, which we might not even really watch here in the United States? Give me your feedback. Like always, bye bye.